Before he was Air Jordan,
Spectacular move by Michael Jordan. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes!
before he was his airness,
Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Jordan to the hole. Wrapped up by Ostertag, and somehow, some way, he scores.
before he was the GOAT,
Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago.
Michael Jordan was a freshman at the University of North Carolina who went by Mike. But it was in a Tar Heels uniform that the future NBA icon started shaping his legendary legacy, authoring the first of countless I'm him moments, and one of the greatest moments in NCAA history, with an unforgettable game-winning shot in the 1982 National Championship game. Obviously, when a teenage Mike Jordan first showed up in Chapel Hill in the autumn of 1981, nobody could have anticipated that he would become Michael Jordan. But the youngster was gifted. There was no denying that. Despite famously getting cut from the varsity squad at Laney High School as a sophomore, a growth spurt that summer helped him become one of the most tantalizing high school prospects in North Carolina. In his senior year, in fact, Jordan averaged a triple-double per game, earning McDonald's All-American status and piquing the interest of several major college programs, including Duke and UCLA. Ultimately, however, Jordan decided to take his talents only about 150 miles north of his Wilmington hometown, committing to the University of North Carolina, the decorated program that had been interested in him first. Believe it or not, Tar Heels head coach Dean Smith actually sent Jordan a recruitment letter after his junior year of high school. That's how much UNC believed in him. And Jordan wasted no time vindicating their faith in his ability. Jordan cracked the Tar Heels starting lineup from the get-go, becoming just the 4th player in school history to start his first game as a freshman. And even on a team that featured future NBA fixture Sam Perkins and future NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy, Jordan's offensive talents shined. He could shoot, he could penetrate, and he could dunk. He wasn't a finished product, and Smith later described Jordan's performance that year as inconsistent, but the freshman could play. And he played a lot, averaging more than 31 minutes per game and finishing 3rd on UNC in points, rebounds, and steals per game. Ultimately, while the team didn't yet revolve around Jordan, the ACC Rookie of the Year was still an integral part of the best college team in the nation. UNC went 32-2 in 1981-82, starting and finishing the season as the AP's top-ranked team and punching their ticket to the NCAA tournament for an 8th consecutive year. The season prior, it should be noted, the Tar Heels lost in the national championship game, getting bested by Isaiah Thomas's Indiana Hoosiers and extending their title drought to 24 years. That defeat also marked UNC's 3rd in the championship game since Smith had taken over as head coach in 1961. But this time around, unbeknownst to anyone, UNC had the most clutch player in basketball history on their team, and the foundation of that reputation was about to be laid. Now, as you might expect from a freshman in the NCAA tournament, Jordan got off to a shaky start. In UNC's first game against James Madison, the youngster went just 3 for 8 from the field, scoring an inefficient 6 points in an extremely narrow victory for the #1 seeded Tar Heels, who had not only received a first-round bye, but also played that game in their home stadium. From that point onward, though, Jordan just got better and better. In UNC's Sweet 16 victory over Alabama, Jordan dropped 11 points, shooting 50% from the field and going a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. In the Elite 8, Jordan scored a team-high 15 points to propel UNC over Villanova. And in North Carolina's semifinal matchup against Houston, a behemoth led by Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, Jordan went off for 18, again shooting 50% from the field and 100% from the line to help the Tar Heels into the championship game for a 2nd straight season. Suddenly, UNC was 1 win away from snapping an almost 2.5-decade-long title drought, and this increasingly unfazed rookie was a big reason why. However, Jordan wasn't the only freshman earning plaudits. Patrick Ewing, a 7-foot teenager who would eventually become one of the greatest players in NBA history, also made an outsized impact for Georgetown that tournament. And as fate would have it, the last 2 teams standing in '82 were the Tar Heels and the Hoyas, setting up one of the most compelling championship matchups in NCAA history. And not just because of those freshmen, who were 2 of the 4 future NBA All-Stars to play in that game. In addition to the incredible talent on display, there was also history at stake. At the time, Georgetown was vying for its first national championship, while Smith was trying to finally win it all after 6 previous fruitless trips to the Final Four with UNC. But although this matchup had all the makings of a classic, nobody could have anticipated just how meaningful this game would be, one that marked the birth of Michael Jordan as we now know him. Now early on, it looked like the '82 championship game might actually be remembered as the Patrick Ewing game. The young center came out guns blazing, knocking down shots, snatching up rebounds, and in an apparent attempt to intimidate UNC, illegally blocking multiple shots in the game's opening minutes.
Almost stolen that time by Fred Brown. Here's James Worthy, and that'll be another goaltending.
Patrick Ewing is standing right under the basket. John Thompson's trying to work the officials a little bit here, but you can't block those kind of shots against a Worthy or Perkins when you're standing right under the basket, because their ball's going to come down quickly, and there you see it.
But North Carolina didn't back down, and Worthy in particular was a problem for the Hoyas. The tightly contested, intense affair that many had predicted was coming to fruition. When halftime arrived, Georgetown led by 1. But while UNC's highly touted freshmen had been relatively quiet through the first 20 minutes, leaving the bulk of the scoring to Worthy, Michael Jordan introduced himself to the basketball world in the second half.
34-33, the Hoyas, Michael Jordan. Oh, what a shooter he is. He had a slump earlier this year, and he just stayed after practice and shot the ball until he got it back again. Jones is 1 of 3. The one for home, the other is 0 for 2. Steal by Worthy.
Watch Ewing.
He intimidated him. Followed beautifully by Michael Jordan. From the free throw line, he's been hitting almost 90%, and we just jinxed him with that one. But look at the rebound by Jordan. Jordan just has been outstanding on the boards. Gordy, beautiful pass to Worthy.
Yeah, he was balling out, doing everything. But as the game headed into crunch time, it was clear that this was going to come down to the final seconds. Neither team had been able to pull away in a game that featured more than a dozen lead changes. And sure enough, when UNC called a timeout with 32 seconds left on the clock, Georgetown led by 1. In the huddle, Smith outlined Plan A, which, to nobody's surprise, was to get the ball down low to Worthy, who already had 28 points. Plan B? It was to swing the ball to the kid. As then UNC assistant coach Roy Williams, yes, that Roy Williams, remembered it, Coach Smith patted Michael on the backside and said, "Michael, if you get the shot, knock it in." And what ensued was the stuff of legend.
32 seconds to go. A 1-point lead for Georgetown.
No, they stay in the 1-3-1 with Ewing in the middle. They've got to look to get it in there. You can't with a shot blocker like Ewing take so much time.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
14 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan. With 14 seconds left, UNC had the lead. And while that is an eternity in basketball, that jumper from Jordan ended up being the game winner thanks to this incredible gaff from Fred Brown on the ensuing Georgetown possession.
Fred Brown.
Look for Sleepy Floyd.
Oh, he threw it to the wrong man. He threw it to Worthy.
It's over.
It was over. For the first time in almost a quarter century, North Carolina were national champions. And in the tightest NCAA title game since the 1950s, it was Michael Jordan's shot that put the Tar Heels on top for good. Yes, Worthy was named tournament MVP, and deservedly so, but the enduring hero of that national championship game is Michael Jordan, whose game-winning heroics marked the beginning of an indelible career as jam-packed with iconic clutch moments and performances as any other athlete in sports history. You can probably rattle them off right along with me. The shot.
Miracle puts the shot in the air. Good! The game.
The final shot.
Open. Chicago with the lead.
The flu game.
It's like he's a boxer just hanging on along the ropes, but able to hit for a 3-point Chicago lead.
The list goes on. And while reasonable people can debate whether MJ is the greatest player in basketball history, there's no denying that he's the most clutch player in basketball history. The player you want taking the shot with the game on the line. 6 NBA Finals MVPs will do that, but we can't forget that he started building that legacy when he was still just a teenager, on a fateful March evening in 1982, the night he became Michael Jordan. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.